can we leverage on the ex-convicts that are out, who were sentenced on issues connected to corruption, so that they can talk to public voluntarily?
Some people will always convince themselves that these other persons were caught because they were not smart. But the big lesson for everybody to take away is that you will always be caught, no matter how long.
Hello viewers, welcome to Transparency Files, ICPC's weekly television program. My name is Muruna Barnabas Atiaye. The Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000 mandates ICPC to use all legal means to rid Nigeria of all forms of corruption while promoting probity, accountability, transparency, and integrity in the public and private lives of citizens. Many individuals whose cases have been handled by the ICPC and found wanting have either been sanctioned or punished, serving as deterrents. For instance, in 2024, a total of 77 cases were filed in different courts across the nation against persons alleged to have breached the national anti-corruption laws, out of which some convictions were secured with various terms of jail handed down to the convicts. We'll bring you highlights of some of these convictions as secured by ICPC. Meantime, Joy Aja is standing by with details of anti-corruption efforts. It's over to you, Joy.
Thank you, Myrna. Welcome to this segment on anti-corruption stories. My name is Joy Aja. Following the launch of its 2024 to 2028 Strategic Action Plan in October last year, ICPC has commenced staff training to ensure its effective implementation. Declaring the training open, ICPC Chairman Dr. Musa Damaliu SAN emphasized that the initiative aims to strengthen the Commission's efficiency, effectiveness, and impact in the fight against corruption.
As we are all aware, the fight against corruption is not just a duty, rather it is a necessity for the development. Our development, stability, and prosperity of our nation. To achieve this, we must be deliberate, strategic, and methodological in our approach. This is precisely why Strategic Action Plan of the Commission is essential. It serves as a roadmap guiding our policies, programs, and enforcement actions towards measurable success. This training is designed to ensure that every staff member fully understands the Strategic Action Plan and is well equipped to implement it effectively.
Speaking earlier, Mr. Godwin Oche, ICPC's Director of Planning, Research and Statistics, described the action plan as a guiding framework that defines the Commission's vision, outlines its objectives, and identifies key actions for achieving its goals.
Today, we will delve into the details of this plan, exploring not only what it entails, but also our respective roles and responsibilities in bringing it to life. This training is not just about sharing information. It's also about engaging with each other. We want to foster a collaborative environment where questions are encouraged, ideas are shared, and challenges are discussed openly. Our aim is to ensure that at the end of this training, everyone is equipped with the knowledge and understanding of how we can effectively implement this plan in the course of our daily work.
The training covers critical areas such as strategic objectives, timelines, stakeholder engagement, expected outcomes, and performance assessment to effectively implement the 2024 to 2028 Strategic Action Plan. ICPC has joined forces with the Nigerian Correctional Service to improve the mandates of the two agencies in anti-corruption. The two agencies highlighted key strategies for collaboration to boost anti-corruption efforts when the Acting Controller General of the Nigeria Correctional Service Sylvester Ndidi Nwakuche, MFR, and his team paid a visit to the chairman of the commission, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu SAN, at his office in Abuja recently. In his remarks, the ICPC chairman highlighted key strategies for collaboration between the two agencies, especially about sensitization, training, and signing a memorandum of understanding.
Every day, crimes are reported. So how can we use the Act, your Act and the ICPC's Act, to see that we sensitize Nigerians on the evil of corruption? So I feel we need to sit down and look at it, look at the laws, regulation, the issue of ethics, to see how can we leverage on the ex-convicts that are out, who were sentenced on issues connected to corruption, so that they can talk to public voluntarily. No, this is the evil of this thing. Don't allow yourself to be in jail because of corruption. And also, we don't have an MOU between the Nigerian Correctional Service and ICPC. And I think we need to have one, so that we concretize, so that we marshal out all the issues from our angle, and also we bring their own, so that we have one document that will guide us in the relationship that we will do in future.
In his earlier address, the Nigeria Correctional Service boss, Mr. Ndidi Nwakuche, also expressed strong beliefs in the prevention of corruption, saying that informed the decision of the service under his leadership to initiate an interface with the ICPC.
My men are here to interface with you and seek for further collaboration and deepen our relationship, both in the area of training and in the area of fighting of corruption. Just like you, my Dr. Musa said, I'm also an apostle of prevention, which you are championing and which you are leading. I've seen that your mantra is about preventing crime instead of curing it or trying to solve it after it has been committed. That is commendable, sir. I want to say thank you so very much. So our relationship with ICPC dates back to almost at the time the agency was formed. We've had a very healthy and robust relationship with this very organization. And I thought it wise to come and continue in that vein instead of leaving a lacuna, a gap that will cause one or two things that will not be too pleasant for our agencies.
That will be all on this segment. Transparency Files continues with Muruna. Please stay with us.
You're watching Transparency Files. Today's edition features convictions secured by ICPC recently. ICPC has secured the conviction of one Lukumanu Sani Waziri, an accountant at Usmanu Danfodio University Teaching Hospital, Sokoto, for corruption and abuse of office. Waziri was found guilty of diverting public funds amounting to over 60 million naira through unauthorized access to the Government Integrated Financial Information System (GIVMIS) in the year 2021. ICPC had arraigned Waziri and two others before Honorable Justice M. Abdul Ghaffar of the Federal High Court Sokoto Division in a 9-count charge of fraud and corruption. In the course of trial, ICPC's prosecutor led evidence before the court on how Waziri, a designated user of GIVMIS in the teaching hospital, altered financial records and facilitated the transfer of multi-millions of government money into private accounts, including his own and that of one Monday Michael Adejo. Waziri was also said to have, without authorization, changed the bank account details meant for state taxes of Kogi, Edo, Bauchi, and Zamfara states to that of Monday Adejo Michael, where the taxes due to the aforementioned states were fraudulently diverted to. In his judgment, Justice Abdul Ghaffar found Mr. Waziri guilty of 7 out of the 9-count charge leveled against him. Also, ICPC has secured the conviction of Mr. Mohammed Idris, a supervisor at the Hajj and Cargo Terminal Gate of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, for making false returns and corrupt self-advantage. In a case brought before Justice O.A. Fadipe of the Ikeja Special Offences Court, ICPC revealed how the accused collected missing monies in the course of his work but could not account for them. In a 2-count charge, ICPC counsel Yvonne Williams Mbata led evidence before the court on how the investigation uncovered a total loss of 11,234,000 naira under the defendant's supervision and watch between February 2001 and April 2021. His offense is contrary to Sections 26 subsection 1b and Section 25 subsection 1 of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000. Justice O.A. Fadipe, in her ruling, sentenced the accused to 1 year imprisonment on each count in lieu of a fine of 1 million naira for both counts. The sentences are to run concurrently. In the same vein, ICPC has secured the conviction of Mr. Martins Ugu, who impersonated and used the certificate of his best friend to secure a job at the Federal Ministry of Health. ICPC had in February 2016 filed a 7-count charge before Justice Abubakar Idris Kutigi against Ugu for making false statement to the chairman of the Federal Civil Service Commission, through which he secured employment into the Federal Ministry of Health in 2006. The convict, according to the ICPC, also drew salaries and allowances up to 17.2 million naira between 2006 and 2016 after working for about 10 years as a medical doctor at the Federal Ministry of Health with the fake documents. Ugu also used the fake documents to procure a staff identity card bearing the name of Dr. George Daniel Davidson, apply for annual leave as well as a postgraduate training program which would have conferred on him a master's degree. Delivering his judgment, Justice Kutigi stated that the issue of quack doctors have taken a new dimension and the sentencing of Ugu will serve as a deterrent to others who might want to venture into the practice without necessary certifications. Similarly, ICPC has secured the conviction of Mr. Solomon Ogodo, a superintendent of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, for his involvement in forgery, employment, racketeering, and fraud. ICPC's prosecutor in the case, Mr. Hamza Sani, had in the course of the trial led evidence before the court on how Mr. Ogodo forged offers of provisional appointments for some applicants into the Nigerian Correctional Service. Justice M.S. Idris, in his judgment, sentenced Mr. Ogodo to 7 years imprisonment on count 1 to 3 without option of fine, and 2 months imprisonment or option of fine of 5,000 naira on count 4. The convict equally bagged 2 months imprisonment on count 5 of the charge without option of fine. The court also agreed with the submission of the prosecution brought under Section 319, subsection 1 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act by ordering the convict to restitute all he received from his victims in the course of his illegal action. All the above convicts took advantage of their office and the public trust placed on them to commit fraud, thinking they would escape the long arms of the law. Mr. Golden Iwagu of ICPC Prosecution Department speaks.
Basically, ICPC is established to fight corruption. And if you look at all the cases you have talked about, the one that has to do with the medical personnel, the one that has to do with the airport officer, the one that has to do with the doctor who was using or so-called doctor who was using a fake or someone's certificate. Now, you will find that all of this, the Commission has been able to deny them the benefit of their corrupt act. Because the belief is that if you're able to emasculate, if you're able to weaken the corrupt by taking away the proceeds of their crime, because in most of the cases you read that, the court, in addition to send to the terms of imprisonment, also ordered a refund. And of course, where the court has ordered refund, even if you don't have the money, if there are properties anywhere, the Commission can, by way of forfeiture, go after those properties. So one principal thing to make out of these cases is that corruption does not pay. It does not pay. And no matter how long, the act was committed, it can still be dictated. And when it is dictated, it can still be proceeded against. Because the beautiful thing is that time does not run against criminal trial. So once it's a criminal infraction, even if, like the case of Martin Zugo, I think he got job around the early 2000, with someone else's certificate, medical certificate, and rose up to, I think he got to the directorate level if he was not a full director. So, but when the system caught up with him, now, notwithstanding when that had happened in early 2000, the Commission was able to proceed, or the government was able to proceed through the Commission against him, and to also make him refund all that he earned using someone's certificate, and also to go to prison, so that will serve as a deterrent to others that corruption does not pay. That is the message every day. Besides prosecution, I know you are aware that the Commission has other arms, other procedures of engaging the public to preach against the ills of corruption. So like I said before, deterrent is one basic thing we make out of this, and the fact that it does not pay, time does not run against the criminal infractions, and whatever thing you have benefited, it can be taken from you. And I think the public should be aware of this. Jobs are not to be sold anywhere. There are no jobs to be sold. Job racketeering, because some of those cases, they were about job racketeering. There are no jobs to be sold. If jobs are to be sold, some people won't be on the street. But a situation where somebody is there asking that, send money, do this and all that, is just out to deceive you. In fact, when such things are heard, they should be reported to the Commission. Some people will always convince themselves that these other persons were caught because they were not smart. But the big lesson for everybody to take away is that you will always be caught, no matter how long. And desist. Don't even venture. I think that should be the big lesson. Don't venture, because some of these persons, like, I will also refer to the case of Martin Zugo again. After how many years he was caught, disgraced, and jailed. So anybody who wants to do that now, I think that's a big lesson. then I better not do it. Even there are some people who are in the system doing that already. They should just know that it's the end of the road. It's closer. So people should desist from that. That's a very big lesson to all and sundry.
I am a Nigerian, a highly cultured race. My culture abhors corruption, and with my integrity, a new Nigeria is possible. I say no to corruption today to build a future for my children. Join me and imbibe the culture of integrity to build a Nigeria of our dreams.
And before we wrap up this edition of Transparency Files, let's bring you update on activities in ICPC state offices. Ono Olapo Abodunde is our guide.
A report from Borno State reveals that the resident anti-corruption commissioner, Mr. Linus Gobi, led a team to pay a courtesy visit to Nigeria Air Force Maiduguri Command to seek collaboration of the force as a way of engaging all security agencies who are very crucial in the fight against corruption. He held that the war against corruption cannot be fought by the ICPC alone. Hence, collective efforts are necessary. The delegation was received by the commandant, Captain K.O. Nwachukwu, who assured ICPC of its unwavering support in any areas that concerns anti-corruption. In the same vein, the resident anti-corruption commissioner of Rivers State, Mrs. Ekere Usiri, led a delegation to pay a courtesy visit to the Public Complaints Commission to establish a synergy in the fight against corruption. She emphasized the need to enlighten and educate the staff of the PCC on the offenses and penalties enshrined in the ICPC Act 2000. The delegation was received by the Honorable Commissioner Public Complaint Commission, Barrister Chima Bombs, who expressed readiness to partner with the ICPC. Coming from Osun State, Ms. Okebukola Olufeikemi of Public Enlightenment and Education Department has sensitized the students of Oroki High School, Oshogbo, on the importance of integrity and discipline in their daily lives. She emphasized the need to uphold ethical values and encouraged them to embrace honesty as a way of life. And from Imo State, Mrs. Chinwe Egbeocha has inaugurated the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit, ACTU, of the Federal University of Technology, Owerri. She urged the newly inaugurated ACTU members to see their appointment as a testament to their worthiness to lead a successful campaign against corruption in the school. The ACTU members, on their part, pledged to lend full support to the anti-corruption fight and to ensure that due process and accountability become common practice in the institution.
This is Transparency Files. The Commission believes that the convictions will not only serve as punishment to the convicts, but deterrence to other Nigerians who might want to abuse their position for personal gain. That's our package for today. Nigerians are expected to draw lessons from these convictions by being upright in their conduct and doing the right thing even when no one is watching. Let's steer clear of corruption and make Nigeria great again. Thank you for watching and see you again next week. I am Murna Barnabas Atiai.